right, Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahweh Shai, Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahweh Shai, Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone for teaching and ruling one in the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and maturity. And this is going to be a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And it's going to be concerning the amounts of wickedness we see, us brothers in this truth. It really stems from a spirit of idolatry, man, because everybody wants to worship everything else besides the creator of this reality, of our being, of plants, of animals, of everything on the earth, man, of women. All right, the maker of nations. All right, the orchestrator of what happens in this reality. Nobody wants to worship that power, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, but everybody wants to worship everything else but that, man, especially the heathen nations. That's why it reads throughout all the scriptures that the heathen nations, they've always really been given to idolatry, man, and worshiping things outside of the Most High. All right, and so as we go around and we go out on the highways and byways and teach of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the living power, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, all right, we're actually bringing forth the spirit to worship the creator of this reality everybody wakes up into every day. All right, starting with you Israelites, because he is a power unto you only. You're his favorite people. You're his favorite creation, which is why you're known as his inheritance. All right, or his peculiar treasure. It tells you that in the book of Deuteronomy. All right, it tells you also throughout all the scriptures that the nation of Israel, all right, is the servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. We are the people to bring forth the acknowledgement of the Most High on the planet to the other nations. All right, and this is what we do when we go out to the highways and byways and teach. All right, because we're ultimately trying to bring this knowledge of us being his inheritance, us being his creation and favorite nation back to our people. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You see? And this is the same thing, all right, that Paul did. He went forth to bring our people back to the Most High so they stop following idols and serving themselves and serving things that are unprofitable, so that they may be saved. This is what we're doing in this time. It's the reincarnation, man. All right. This is Acts chapter 17, verse 16. All right. Because Paul was waiting for Silas and Timotheus in Athens. All right. And Paul experienced the same thing that we experience when we move around in the cities we live in, being around these people that are given to idolatry and given to worship of things that are unprofitable, man. A lot of the things are they self. These people worship women, themselves, food, cars, clothes, hoes. Those are the big demons, man, and big idols. Sports. People, they've made animals their gods, planets, you name it, man. And seeing this will stir up your spirit, because these people seeing this stirs up your spirit because they're in complete darkness. But that's because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has imprisoned them into that darkness. All right. Especially the heathen. Now, 2/3 of our people are in darkness because they're wicked and they don't want to come back to this acknowledgement of their power, and that he's the entity that created everything, him and his son. And that'll stir you up in the spirit, man. Seeing Jake bugged out all the time, seeing Jake in a nigga mentality, seeing Jake in a coon mentality, you see, and not acting as the gods that the Most High created us to be. You see, instead our people are given to idolatry, especially the Northern Kingdom, man, serving white Jesus, serving Mother Mary, serving crosses. You see, Acts 17, and it's the same spirit that Paul was presented with and felt. Acts 17 and 16. Now, while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. All right, this is what we go to. We go out there to the marketplace, which is the agora. All right, I believe it says it in here. Let me see. If you go into the marketplace, yeah, it says it right here, the agora in the Greek.
Strong's G58, agara. Agara.
It says an assembly, especially of the people, the place of assembly for public debating, which is why we go out to the highways and byways, is the agora. Chief place of concourse, chief place of marketing and selling and buying. This is where all the people go out to, because what? They're given to idolatry, so they're going to be out there buying up more idols, buying up things that they idolize, buying shoes, clothes, cars. You see? There's going to be all types of people with all types of ideologies and philosophies out there. You're going to have false prophets out there. All right, you're going to have people that say they believe in the Most High. When in all actuality, we're out there trying to bring forth the understanding on this earth of that power that created all the heavens and the earth that nobody knows but his men. It started with the apostles and elders on down of Great Millstone, man. Just as we were in the world before we start teaching, we knew it was a power, but we didn't know his name. We didn't know his personality. Now we do, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, through his spirit, because it says it's in us. All right, and that's why we go out to these chief places, all right, and marketplaces and assembly of people, to stress that and to gather the remnant of our people that the Lord's spirit is dwelling in, all right, to the point where they understand this word and the Lord sups with them. All right, and that they are known as the elect, or the remnant of Israel. All right, it says the place of assembly for public debating, for elections, for trials, for buying and selling, as I said before, for all kinds of business, marketplace, the street. That's why it says in the scriptures, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. The wisdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, the God and creator of this earth, the living power, all right, comes through the voice of the men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right, they go out to the highways and byways week in and week out, man. Whether the world wants to believe it or not. You see? So let's go back and continue reading Acts 17, and that's the marketplace, which is what I'm about to, Lord willing, we're about to head that way now and get over to camp to teach. That's where we're going, to the marketplace. All right. In the end of the day, it's only gonna be the elect that understand this. 2/3 of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to be destroyed. Why? Because you have been given over to idolatry, serving the creation rather than the creator, as it tells you in the book of Romans, man. All right, Acts 17 and 18. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. And some said, what will this babbler say? And that's what they think we are, just babblers. We just out there for vain reasons and purposes. We just out there they just think we're out there for our health, but we really are out there for our health, man. Why? Because we want to receive the salvation that comes with teaching, all right, and worshiping Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And the Most High is faithful to give that to his servants that risk their life doing so, which is why we risk our life doing so. Acts 17 and 18. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. And some said, what will this babbler say? Others some, he seemeth to be a setter forth of strange gods. And it's strange to the world what we're doing, but it's actually the most powerful work, all right, ever known to man to come onto this planet. The teaching of this word in the last days, man. All right. That's why the Lord said, through the foolishness of preaching, some shall be saved, roughly paraphrasing. So we're made a spectacle. That's why it tells you we're made a spectacle to the world, as the scripture says. And I'm quoting a lot of scriptures, so just, you Google them, the statement or what I'm saying, and the scriptures will come up. We've been made a spectacle to the world, as Paul in Athens was. Same spirit. We're doing the same thing. Why? Because we believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, who created the heavens and the earth. While on the other end, 2/3 of Israel and the heathen nations and Esau, they don't believe and can't believe until he reveals himself, just like during the time of our first hardcore bondage and under the people of Montezarium in Egypt, man. During the time of Moses, Acts 17 and 18. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him, and some said, what will this babbler say? Others some, he seemeth to be a setter forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them Yahushua and the resurrection, which is what we're out there preaching now. We're preaching that the Lord came 2,000 years ago, roughly. He gave his life for the remnant of Israel to receive this truth in this time. All right. He was raised from the dead and he went up to the Father. All right. In order to come back in this time. All right. To receive that remnant that will receive that word. All right. And receive that the benefits of that sacrifice that he, all right, committed himself to 2,000 years ago, man. That's how powerful Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is, man. Basically, he's time traveling. The Most High got him time traveling, man. You see? Because we're now in the third day, man. We're 2,000 years later from when the Lord sacrificed himself, man. So all the fruit and everything in the harvest is going to come to the forefront, man. That's why the scriptures talks about the harvest. And we're out there to preach of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, that is gathering men, all right, as his remnant, and have made men his remnant, and they're known as the elect. Acts 17 and 19, and they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. And this is what the people think of us, man. They hear us, they think we're crazy. But we really, in actuality, we have the truth of this reality. We understand this reality through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's a gift. It was born with the faithful. Faith came with men in the womb. Read the book of Jeremiah. Men were made prophets and men of understanding from the womb. Read the book of Jeremiah, the 1st chapter. You see, Acts 17 and 19. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We would know therefore what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else, but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. For as I passed by and behold your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown power, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. And that's it right there, man. The world believes in God and God this, God this. You got 2/3 of our people, God that, God this. We believe in God. What's his name? What's his purpose? What's his personality like? Do you understand his type of judgment? What is he like? What does he dislike? This is why we're making ourselves a spectacle, to bring forth this truth to the world. That's why it says in the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, in the 8th verse, that we've been made prophets unto the nations. To do what? To bring forth the word and the decision and the judgments of a higher power that's about to judge this earth, that everybody so-called believes in, man. Same thing happened with Paul. He was bringing forth the same understanding to the world that so-called supposedly believed in the Most High, but didn't know his name, didn't really understand him, which is why he found the altar with the inscription, to the unknown power, in Athens. Whom therefore ye ignorantly worship. And that's what these people, they ignorantly worship the Most High in this kingdom, man. In this time on the earth. Everybody ignorantly worships the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because they really don't know his name. They don't know that he has a favorite people. And that's why you had the prophets to bring and teach these things, man. Such as Paul during his day. Acts 17 and 24, the Most High Yahweh that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Because the Most High is far out, man. The Most High is outside of this planet. There's other planets. That's why it says heaven is my throne. The Most High chills out in the heavens. He got different locations. He goes, he just is. He does what he wants to do. And now he has his son traveling with the mighty angels. That's these chariots and UFOs that we're all seeing. Starting with Esau, putting them on CNN, coming out with disclosed documents. These are the entities that we are preaching out on the highways and byways week in and week out. We've been demonized and they continue to demonize us. But why? Because the Most High told us that we would be made a spectacle, because everyone on this planet doesn't know the Most High. Majority of the people don't. And it's a gift that we do, and we're allowed to go out there and teach in his name, man. Acts 17. Acts 17 and 25. Neither is worship with men's hands as though he needed anything. Most High don't need nothing from nobody. He created everybody and everything in this reality and in existence. Seeing he giveth to all life, see, and breath, and all things, and have made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed. That shows you that what's happening now was already appointed from the beginning, because this is a story playing out. And the Lord has put the Spirit on us to go teach the ending of the story, man, and be a part of it, man. We are actually fulfilling prophecy, all right, a bunch of prophecies, just going out there speaking, man. This was appointed. And the bounds of their habitation, which is why Esau, we're telling you your end is coming now that we've been risen up. The Lord's giving you your bounds by way of us telling you, him putting the Spirit on you, on us to tell you. Acts 17 and 27, that they should seek the Lord, if happily they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us, man. The Lord is with us, man, teaching his word. Everybody thinks everything's hee ha ha, jokes and games, but when you read the terribleness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in the ancient world, and then when he brings forth that judgment and that terribleness and that terrible demon-like power as he was known of in the ancient world, Al-Shadia, then people are not going to be laughing in this reality soon. When them chariots come down into this reality and start terrorizing and destroying and vaporizing and turning people into powder, then people are gonna learn to fear the unknown power that was always unknown to them. And this is just through the Spirit, man. These people, the prophecy has been set forth for them to go back into their peace and safety mode, because they have to be suddenly startled. Scripture talks about Yahushua coming as a thief. These things are happening, and we're going out there to declare who's orchestrating them. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, not these idols. And there's a scripture that says that the Lord's bringing it forth, roughly paraphrasing, so that nobody can say that their idol has done this. The Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is orchestrating this in, and everything happening in these last days, including the destruction coming to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Acts 17, and this is not our judgments. This is the Most High's judgments. Acts 17 and 26, and have made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitations, that they should seek the Lord, if happily they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being, as certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also of his offspring. You see, your idols don't give you the power to do anything. The stones only give you power, all right, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because he created those to do things, man. So acknowledging the fact that you use stones and we like brothers love stones, we acknowledge it. We're acknowledging the fact, all right, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua created these precious things, all right, to be admired and to be utilized. We're not worshiping them. We're worshiping the power that created them, and that's the whole difference between an Israelite and a heathen, man. You see? So I'm not going to read too much more. Acts the 17th chapter, great chapter to read. This was just through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Lord willing, it was edifying. Call all Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Merkach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Salutations to Akim across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. Shalom and Abba Babal.